is a long-standing belief that women and men are biologically opposites. Women are seen as frail, decorative beings, whereas men are often portrayed as strong, muscular, and dominant. That being said, it is no surprise that these beliefs have come to infiltrate the way society expects women and men to act in regards to sexuality. There is an obvious disparity between men and women's socially acceptable sexual behavior.
However, these beliefs are not only a subject of study for modern-day sociology classes, but have been seen throughout human history. For example, the economic system of slavery in the United States furthered the belief that both black women and white women were the property of white male slave owners. They were so dehumanized as a form of property that the rape of black female slaves was incentivized. The number of slaves owned by white masters would increase. Furthermore, female slaves were hypersexualized as savages, such that they were blamed for their own rapes. White women were subject of rape as well, as once they were relinquished as property of their fathers, they became property of their husbands. On the other hand, black male slaves' sexuality was less punishable, as any harm done to them would decrease the value of the slave owner's property. This is just one example of the difference between male and female sexuality from a historic standpoint.
Women of modern society face expectations about their sexuality at every stage of their lives. Those expectations vary greatly from what we have come to expect from male sexuality. Even before women start to think about sexuality, they are sexualized, a phenomenon that is not seen in men. For example, circumcision as a means to prevent sexually transmitted disease and infection is performed without second thought. On the other hand, the Gardasil vaccine as a means to prevent the sexually transmitted human papillomavirus has been controversial because it is thought to encourage sexual activity in adolescent girls. The disparity between men and women's socially acceptable sexuality has come so far as to affect women's health.
We even notice a difference in normal sexual behaviors for young men and women in schools. Gendered activities that reinforce gender roles are common. For example, this is seen during prom. Females are expected to look beautiful and spend money on a beautiful dress and become a spectacle for the male gaze. Meanwhile, men are expected to find an attractive date and end the night with sex. Males don't face stigma about having sex, whereas females may face slut-shaming in regards to their sexual experiences.
Later in life, such as college, women and their sexual choices are still thought of as an object to attract male attention. Relations between women, especially in the party scene, are not considered legitimate because women are expected to use their sexuality to fulfill the desires of men. Men have internalized this belief and often see women's same-sex behavior as a way to fulfill their own desires.
Women are unable to escape sexual norms in everyday life due to the influence of heteronormative media. Powerful men are often depicted with submissive women. Males are represented as securely heterosexual and are hardly ever depicted as homosexual in the media, whereas women in advertisements are a product of male desire, submitting to their power and often engaging in edgy girl-on-girl behavior to sell a product. In this example, we see that even in the media, women function to please men.
The power difference between men and women in the media reflects real life. In situations of potential sexual violence, women are expected to protect themselves by submitting to their attackers, which reinforces their femininity. Men, however, have been shown to use violence against trans women to defend their heterosexuality. The power imbalance between women and men and protecting themselves has come to show real-life consequences with women and their safety. Even when women do try to defend themselves, they are expected to follow rules of conduct rooted in femininity.
Even in their senior years, women cannot escape society's rules of sexuality that do not apply to men. Women in their older years are not seen as sexual, whereas older men still are. Widowed women who remain sexually active may be seen as unfaithful, whereas senior men commonly pursue sexual endeavors with younger women without stigma. Men even have pharmaceutical aids to help them maintain their sex life, such as Viagra. However, women have no such luck. All of these examples showcase how women are subject to strict rules of socially acceptable sexual behavior which are not applied to men.